where music lives. Chilling with my boy DJ.
You my joke, you my jive.
You my joke, you my jive.
That's your mom, your pop.
That's my man, your daddy.
We keep it hot picking.
Fire, fire.
88.5 picking.
Booyah, booyah.
You my joke, you my jive.
You my joke, you my jive.
That's your mom, your pop.
Them boy, them a cry.
Them boy in your brain picking.
You understand?
K-I-N-G got king picking.
You know me, man?
Yo, hello. All the way down from the interior to the ghetto. 88.9. Me, I'm on the radio today to tell I girl good morning. My name Kanachi. Take a radio and see. I brought it in America, but my heart in Liberia. You boy are serious, man. Even though I chilling on my push, one day I wanna be sick, not chilling on my piazza. You my joke, you my
You
child.
my joke, you my jive.
That's your mom, your pop.
That's my man, your daddy.
We keep it hot picking.
Fire, fire.
88.5.
Well, let me say good evening and a warm welcome to the program State and Religion. Well, this is where we talk about the state, we talk about religion on every side. And we bring religious news, bring before the microphone stakeholders, religious leaders. And we talk more about what is unfolding in Liberia and across the world. Well, this is the first edition of the program, State and Religion. And today's Sunday, the first Sunday to say, the 3rd of November, 2024. Let's have a wonderful time. My name is Israel Boyowiasie. And I'll be just right back. Right back. Don't go away. All right. So let me say a pleasant good morning to the wonderful people of Liberia across the country. I'd like to say good evening, and I'd like to welcome you to the program State and Religion. And those of you following us via the social media, I'd like to say a pleasant good evening. Those of you across Liberia on this blessed Sunday, the first Sunday in the month of November, I'd like to say good evening to all of you, our friends in the diaspora. I'd like to say happy new month to all of you. And thank you again for joining us on this first Sunday in the month of November. And this is the debut of the presentation. And there are a lot of things that are going to be happening here on the program, State and Religion. It will afford us the opportunity to talk about a lot of national and international issues relating to religion, meaning that we will invite church leaders. We will also invite imams. Oh yes, we invite stakeholders. We invite musicians. And we'll talk about a lot of issues as they relate to religion. We'll talk about the faith, the Islamic faith, the Christians, and you say, well, it's a Sunday. Why will you bring the imam on the radio, to talk about? But religion in a general perspective, we're going to look at it from all sides. At times, we're going to bring the imam, we're going to bring the pastor, and then two of them are going to sit across the table, and then we talk about religion. We talk about the state of affairs of our country. We talk about the contribution, the impact, what impact religion has on our governance system. There are lots of denominations across Liberia. If you look, Liberia, we got the Christian faith, the Islamic faith. We also have Buddhist. All right, there are others practicing different, faith. So we're going to bring a cross section of them on the radio, on this platform. We're going to have people from the diaspora. And then we talk about religion. We talk about, the impact is it making on the state? What contributions are they making? We'll look at it from the perspective of Liberia. We'll bring out religion news. We'll bring up religion news from around the continent, from around the world. What is happening in the faith? What is happening as it relates to religion? Their contribution, the difference in terms of functionaries. So I'm taking this as an intro and to say, watch up every Sunday at 4 o'clock. We're gonna be here, and I can assure you, every Sunday we're gonna have guests. We're gonna have cross sections of guests coming, and we're going to talk about a wide range of issues as it relates to religion. We will talk from the Christian faith to the Islamic faith to other faith, their road, what impact religion is making on the state. And if people practicing their own religion, we're going to mash it up along with our constitution to see whether it has constitutional backing. When the constitution said Liberia is a secular state, meaning that You can practice the Islamic faith, you can practice Christianity, but then we also look at with the availability, with what is enshrined in our constitution, that look, Liberia is a secular state, you can practice your faith. Whether is a in any way give credence to maybe saying somebody will say, yes, my religion is we do sacrifice of humankind, human being. We do sacrifice of human being, maybe for the sun to shine or for this to happen. It is our religion, and we can practice it in Liberia because they say Liberia is a secular state. So then we look at what the Constitution said about religion, religious believed. So somebody could say our own religion or, our own faith of believed is that we grab people, we get them 25 lashes. So that our own religion, every weekend we grab people, 5 persons, we give them 25 lashes. So we match it up along and see what the Constitution of Liberia say about religion. So if we say secular state, it meaning that the Muslims can practice their religion, the Christian can practice their religion, and other faith can also do the same. But is it in any way going to violate our Constitution? Because there are certain things we prohibit as a people, as a nation. And automatically there are certain thing or culture that is not tolerated in our country. We don't accept. And if you talk about it, of course, you stir our attention. You bring about different beliefs. So the reason why we're going to bring the imams, we're going to bring stakeholders, we're going to bring church leaders, we're going to bring opinion leaders. Now, is for us to be able to derive, at a specific point, to understanding the road of our different religion in our country. What contribution are they making to society? What role can they play? Are they regarded by the state, or is it any prohibition on the practice of Islamic faith, the Muslim? There are other countries you don't practice Christianity. No, they don't allow it. They will tell you our religion here is dominantly the Islamic faith. That's what we do. That's what we practice. It is enshrined in our constitution. Some other instances, or in other countries, they say no, secular state, you can. Our country is based on Christian principles. You can also practice your faith. You can practice your religion, but our country is based on Christian, like what we see in Liberia. We are the saying that Liberia is based on Christian principles. So we want to be inviting lots of people coming who will be having some panel of experts and people from the diaspora. We're going to be talking a lot of things. And I'm just coming today because I'm kicking the program up officially today. And every Sunday, 4 o'clock, we're going to be here. And every Sunday, we're going to have guests either in Liberia, outside Liberia, maybe from Sierra Leone, from Guinea. Now, what we're going to do is that we're going to go across. We're going to go to Sierra Leone. We're going to go to Guinea. We're going to go to the Cote d'Ivoire. Before we go to Nigeria, we go to Ghana. And so we will start to look at these other countries and see what is inside, what the package like in terms of people practicing their own religion. What is in their package? What is in our package? And if there are prohibition relative some other things that you don't practice in Sierra Leone, in Guinea, in Cote d'Ivoire, as per their constitution, what kind of faith they gave a 90% or 75%. So that's what we're going to do. And we're going to talk about a lot of issues in Liberia. A lot of issues. And so when we bring out the topic, we have the topic released before Sunday, and then you make your own contribution. All right? And then we'll read your comment. You gave your contribution to explaining to us exactly, what you feel about it. How do you see it? How do you look at it? There are different issues in Liberia. Some instances, some people say, pastors not supposed to contest for public office. Pastor not supposed to venture into politics. Pastor not supposed to be involved into government business. Pastor should focus on the floor. Pastor should focus on the floor. imams should not be into politics. They should focus on the people that goes to the mosques, to pray to Allah. So we will look at all of these things and see, why should a pastor, why should a bishop, why should an imam not be allowed to participate in politics? Is it in our constitution? Is it what our constitution said? Is it in the Bible? Is it in the Quran? Now, these are some of the things we're going to look at, because it's one of the things that you see most of the times people will say, amen, you men of God, why you put your more in politics? Focus on the church. Don't talk about. Sometimes we lash at Bishop Cotto Brown, we lash at Bishop Reeves, we lash at other pastors and bishops, that their road should be, to guard the government, because the government is on the shoulder of Christ. And so they should guard the government. Now, this is one of the important, area that I want us to talk about. I want us to discuss. I want us to look at it holistically and be able to derive of something. Because whenever there are elections, whether by election, chieftaincy elections, community elections, fraternity, whatever, people said pastors should not play a role, or maybe that they want to contest, because this is one of the things that most of us say in our society, in our communities, and we talk about it. Whether an imam who goes to the mosque on Friday and pray to Allah, lead hundreds of thousands of Muslims, seeking the face of Allah, whether that imam don't have the right to participate in political contest, or maybe into any political situation, issues, maybe an election. Well, the imam doesn't have the right, or is it in the Quran that an imam can't take part in anything? You can't run for presidency, you can't be representative, you can't do this one because you are an imam. Whether is it there or is it right? Is there anything that will hold them back to deny an imam or a pastor or a bishop or a clergyman from vying for any public office? Is it in our constitution? I don't think the constitution prohibits that an imam cannot contest or a pastor cannot contest for any public office or public seat. All right. So it's very important. And that is why we would take up our time to invite these people. So state and religion is not just going to focus only on Christianity. No. There are other issues that we want to look at. We want to look at the Islamic faith. Sometimes people term the Islamic faith as a very dangerous religion. But if you were to do some research, you get to know there are different types of Muslims. And they will tell you there are some jihad Muslims. They got different types of them. So we must be able to establish. And how do we do this? Is to bring them on the table for us to talk. Bring a pastor, bring an imam. Let's debate the issues. Let's look at the state. Let's look at religion. And let's see what their religion prohibits, what the Christian faith also prohibits. Whether, when you are a pastor, you don't have the right to run as representative. You don't have the right to run as senator. You don't have the right to run as, I would say, president. If you're an imam, whether you don't have the right to contest as representative, as senator, or for the presidency. Now, if an imam don't have the right, we want to know why should an imam not be privileged to contest for public office. If a pastor, a clergyman, a preacher man should not be privileged or having the right to contest for a public office, then we must be able to know why. Why should a pastor not run for the presidency, for senatorial office, for representative? No, probably there are biblical, scriptural backing that gives sufficient reasons why a pastor should not contest for public office. Probably there are things enshrined in the Quran that prohibits an imam from contesting for public office, representative, the presidency, or the senatorial office. Because at times people will say, but then he pastor, now why you won't be representative? You can't go preach the word of God. He imam, why you can't go to the mosque and go talk to the people? And so when people talk about it, sometimes I wonder whether, are we depriving them of their just constitutional right? Are we depriving them of their constitutional right? Or as people in Christendom, we are under obligation to only focus on the floor and not to get the people scattered by involving ourselves into political engagement. So meaning that if you are a pastor, it divorces you from political gathering or affiliation. If you are an imam, whether it divorces you from talking about you want to contest as president, you want to run as senator, you want to run as representative, you want to run as governor for a township. So this is one of the major issues. And during electoral processes, you yesterday say the other pastor is running for presidency. And people say, well, he got to go. Today you look around, there are others who are into politics. They are men of God. They are into politics, all right? There are pastors that are serving as religious leaders, religious advisors to the presidency, all right? There are imams that serve as religious advisor, Islamic advisor to the presidency. So, is it in any way contravening their own religion that they have to go to the mosque, spend a time with the people? They have to go to the church, they have to go to Bible studies, they have to go for prayer meetings, they have to conduct revival seminars, symposium, and conferences. So what we want to establish is what do we then say about this thing, whether a pastor or an imam doesn't have the right to vow for public office? And it's a very interesting discussion that every one of you, we want to give your cardinal opinion on it. All right? On it. But please, let me just do the quick break quickly. Just bear with me.
Les 3 wise men have finally come. The on Kings FM. Yes, for the November year, the first wise man now choose Wednesday and Thursday to give all the Google thing he get. He will be giving $20,000 Liberian dollar, $50,000 Liberian dollar, and $100,000 Liberian dollar on Wednesday and Thursday. Yes, and on the 28th of November, you will get plenty motorbike to plenty winner, and the BB winner will win $1.2 million Liberian dollar to close November. This second wise man here, he's partnering with Tyler Reid and will also give $20,000 Liberian dollar, $50,000 Liberian dollar, and $100,000 Liberian dollar on Wednesday and Thursday. On the 21st of December, he will be giving away plenty iPhone 16 Pro Max, and one big winner will walk away with a saloon car. Yes,
So sorry for that. Sorry for that. I will still bring the app. So it's very important. So I know all of you have your own contribution, because you see, sometimes I'm wondering, is it the pastor not get a right to run as representative? The bishop not get his right to run? The mother, if she want to contest as representative, is it all right? If the imam, maybe for Benson Street, the chief imam there want to contest as senator for Moserado County, isn't his right? If an imam want to run for a chieftaincy election in the county or in their chiefdom, isn't it right? Or if there's something within the Quran that says, no, an imam, you can vow for public office. Then maybe there is something in the Bible that said, no, the pastor cannot go. He can be going to church on Sunday telling people blah 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 blah. Then he put himself in government. It will contravene. It will contradict his. He will lack focus. So on what basis are many persons pushing the issue that pastors, imams should do away from public office, to do away from venturing into politics? Because it could just get them off track what they intend to do, because they are under obligation to lead many flocks. A lot of people will be under their responsibilities, and if they were to go into politics, maybe their focus, a pastor now will not be going for Bible study as usual. The pastor will not be going for prayer meetings as usual. The pastor will not, because he will be concentrated, he will be focusing on his representative office. He will be focused on his senatorial office. And a lot of things happen, and people say, you see, this is why we think our pastors, our bishops, our clergymen, our imams should not be into governmental issues. Because sometimes the legislature is tied around corruption, around bribery. And your pastor is one of the representatives there. Your imam is there as senator. And then something spark up that have to do with corruption, that have to do with financial malfeasance, that have to do with misappropriation. So these are some of the things that people look at and say, it will implicate our church leaders. It will implicate our religious leaders. But if they were to play a neutral role, sit back and say, yes, we don't want to be in government, but we want to have our own opinion on those key national issues, where the government said we want to go to the Interreligious Council to seek her advice. We want to go to because the Interreligious Council comprises the Muslims faith, Islamic faith, and the Christian faith. So we call them Interreligious Council. But we also have the Islamic community. We also have the Christian community. But then they came up together. Besides them being separate, they also collaborating. That's why they call themselves Interreligious Council. Because other people think you are infringing on the right of the man. You are infringing on the right. So if we say Liberia is a secular state also, and the Muslims can practice their faith, the Christians can practice their faith, why does it order some other country they say they want to practice their own faith? Maybe they say our own faith, we got to beat people in a day. We catch 10 persons, we get them 20 lunches each. That's our faith. And every time we do it, the sun can shine. Money can come to us. Even though Liberia is a secular state, but if it is not in the Constitution, if it is not what the Constitution is talking about in Liberia, do you think the state will allow such a religion to exist? Will allow such a religion to exist where you will grab people, beat them, or you say, our own religion, every Sunday we meet, we take out our clothes, all will be dancing. Our own religion, every time we meet, we got to beat people, or we got to sacrifice human beings. Because I believed in every nation, what is guarding that nation and its people is their constitution. Some states, they are clear about religion. Their religious faith, religious belief is strictly, they will tell you, say, this is our belief. They will tell you, our country is no secular nation. We straight believe in this. And this is why you will do. If you can't do it, there are consequences. Now, for Liberia, we say Liberia is based on a Christian principles. But Liberia is a secular state. Liberia is not a Christian nation. Somebody say Liberia is exclusively a Christian nation as enshrined in the Constitution, and nobody can practice Islamic business. No Muslim business in the country. But Liberia is a secular state, meaning that the Muslims can practice their faith. My focus, if everybody is given the opportunity to practice their own religion, why are we not giving them the opportunity to venture into public office? If we're giving an imam, we're giving the Muslims the opportunity to practice their own faith, why are we not still giving the Muslims the opportunity to venture into public offices? If we say the pastors, they can also practice their faith, why are we not also allowing the pastors, the bishops, the deacon, the deaconesses, the prophets and prophetess, the missionaries to also venture into political issues? Since they get that right, since Liberia is a secular nation, but we claim it's based on Christian principles, granted. But with all that, isn't it not right when we deny these people, their just opportunity to partake? Or there is something in our constitution that says when you're Muslim, you can't run for the presidency. When you're Muslim, you can't run for senatorial office. When you're Muslim, you can't run for representative office. When you bishop, you can't run for the presidency. When you pastor, you can't run for it. When you mother, you can't run for it. When you father, you can't go. When you deaconess or missionary, you can go. If somebody say, if this is it, then also I ask, is it in our constitution? Is it what our constitution says? Is it what our constitution saying that Liberia is a secular nation? Everybody is free to practice their religion. But is there any clause in our constitution that says religious leader cannot vow for public office? Because our pastors, our imams are victims of the circumstances. People lash at them. A pastor, you show to put your money in politics. We can be lashing here at like Luther Tappet, all the people who pour out more on, and we say they're not supposed to venture into politics. They should focus on the church. They should focus on the floor. They should feed God's people. But with all that we say to them, isn't their right? Is it not their right to be controlling the church, and they're also working in government? While they are bishop of their church, they are minister for this ministry. While they are bishop of their church, they are a religious advisor to the president. While they are bishop of their church, while they are imam of this mosque, they are religious Islamic advisor to the president. While they are imam, they can contest for the president. So what? That's what I want us to drive at. Is there anything in the Bible, anything in the Quran, or in our constitution that prohibits these clergy men and women from participating into public offices? Because at times, most of us, we lash at them. When election comes, people say, the other one, he pastor, you leave a pastor when and you can't put him in politics. So sometimes, even though we can say, but are we denying them their right? Is it unconstitutional for a pastor to vow for public office? Is it unconstitutional for an imam to run as senator, to run as representative? Is it wrong? And we must. Probably on this coming Sunday, I want to have an imam, I want to have a pastor, and I want to have so that we will look at it holistically. We will dive into it in totality. Get to the nitty-gritty of this discussion, because it's in Liberia. Or in some instances, like Bruno said, in our society, we can't allow people, man, they can't run. We can't allow them to run. But is it in the Constitution? Is it part of our laws? Probably there is something in the Bible that talk about bishop to stay away from public office, stay away from the government, to stay away from politics, so that we are able to look at it. And then we will not confuse ourselves. We will not be fighting. When we see an imam want to be representative, we will not be questioning. They want him to be imam again. He won't pray again to Allah. He won't put him in politics. But yet, probably there is something in the Quran that says you can't be imam, you go run as representative. You can't be imam, you go run as lawmaker. You can't be imam, and you take ministerial position and take ambassadorial office. No, you can't be. You got to focus on the mosque. Probably there is something in the Quran that's saying it. I don't know. I'm not part of that faith. I don't know. Probably an imam will interpret it to us when we bring the imam. So the pastors, the bishop, the clergyman too, probably there is some scripture in the Bible. But the scripture in the Bible, it says restricting them and say a pastor cannot vie for public office, a pastor can be religious advisor, a pastor cannot go to be senator, a pastor cannot be representative, a pastor cannot be minister, a pastor cannot be director, a pastor cannot hold ambassadorial office, a pastor cannot run for chieftaincy election, a pastor cannot be governor. But if you think it is their right, then you must be able to share with me why you think it is their right to participate in politics. Now, if it is their right to participate in politics, don't you think that it one way or the other will contradict their focus, their beliefs? If it is their right now, you say Israel, the pastor has his right, the imam has his right. There is nothing in the Bible, there is nothing in the Quran that prohibits. Moreover, there is nothing in our constitution in Liberia that says an imam cannot run for the presidency, a pastor cannot run from the presidency. Let's do away with the discussion. Let's demystify the beliefs of many persons that think that these people are not entitled to running for public office. Let this abuse the minds of our people. And by providing the necessary education and necessary clarity to our people so that they are convinced. So that when we see a bishop want to be president of the Republic of Liberia, we will not question the bishop. As a matter of fact, the church might be able to rally around the bishop because it is his right. It is her right. The right of that bishop or pastor to contest for public office is in no violation of the constitution of the land and is in no way contradicting their beliefs as Christians. An imam wanting to contest for public office is in no way saying the imam is in violation of the Quran. Or maybe there is something in the Quran that said, no, imam don't run. Imam don't run for representative office. Imam is in the constitution. And in our Quran, you can't go there. You can't vie for office. You just sit down and do your work. Imam can be religious leader, advisor, Islamic advisor to the president. Your reliance. A very interesting thing I'm sharing with you. Your reliance. Because I just believe that we deny our pastors, we deny our bishop, we deny our church leaders the opportunity to play their role in the governance system of our country. Somebody might be thinking, say, no, you can't stop the man. You can't stop the woman. The woman won't run as bishop. The woman will say as president. The woman is a missionary for a church. She won't run as representative. Then people say she lead a church. She's not able to manage the people. She ain't praying for the people. She come in, enter government so she can be stealing. So he can be stealing. He will not focus on the church. What do you think people do not like for religious leaders to venture into public office? Is it something they are afraid of that will not tie that pastor, will not tie that bishop, to these kind of issues? So probably people think there is no constitutional bargain that prohibits a pastor, bishop, or imams from contesting public offices or public positions. But maybe in their belief, in their mindset and thinking, to preserve their integrity, to preserve, and keep their character on the right trajectory, they do believe and think imams and pastors, bishops should stay away from the governance systems of our country. Maybe some people say they think the church should play an advisory role. The church should serve as a twin mother. The Islamic faith should serve as a twin mother, meaning that they are twin mother between the ruling establishment and the opposition, meaning the government of the day and the opposition community. So if there were any national occurrence or something that might turn into instability in the country, the government now look to the church for guardians and say, we want to seek the advice of the church. We want to seek the advice of the interreligious council comprising the Islamic faith and the Christian faith. We want to seek their advice. Some people think that how it should be like. Some people think the church should play an advisory role. The church should do away with the body politics of the country so that it is not caught in the web. Other people think it is the right of the church to call the government to order. But if it is the right of the church to call the government to order, there are people within the church that are also serving in lucrative positions. Some of them are in the church, they are serving. When I'm in the church, they are playing the pastoral role. That's what I'm speaking from now. They are pastors. They are deacons. They are deacons. They are missionaries. They are prophetess. They are prophets. Because I want us to get to this thing so that we are able to establish something. All right? So I'm not going to waste your time. I'm going to open the lines. I'm going to open the lines so I can have your interaction. To let me know whether is it wrong for a pastor or bishop to vow for any public office. If it is wrong, share with me why you think it is wrong. Is it wrong for an imam to run as president, to run as senator or representative? If it is wrong, tell me. Probably there are scriptural backing from the side of Christianity, or maybe there are something in the Quran that prohibits an imam from venturing in public offices. Okay. So, the numbers, do you think we're ready? Yeah. Who take it? Ain't see trouble. Ain't see trouble. So, I come here looking for something. Who take it? Oh, I'm looking. The number to take some time for to memorize it. So I want to call the numbers so you can start putting in your calls. I think I can remember some. All right. So you can start putting in your calls. It's very important. It's very important. And when something in the studio, why these young people will see things they don't leave it? This is highly unacceptable. I'm coming here, people. I'm coming. I'm coming here to deal with young people in this country. All right. So the numbers you call me on, I got the men line, the women line, right? So that's 077-223-9933, 0886-304497, or the female line 077-980-375. The WhatsApp line is +231 886-304497. So I want to hear you now. I sure you understood exactly what I said. And I'm asking you to share with me whether you think we not been doing well. We not been doing justice to our pastors, our bishops, our clergymen, to say that they should not run for the presidency, they should not run to be representative, they should not run to be senator. Whether we not been doing good to our imams and say, because they are the one who go to the mosque on Friday and lead the people to praying to Allah, they should not talk about talking to run the presidency, senatorial office. And that. So if that is the case, what are your reliance? Why you think these people should not venture into government positions? Why you think it would do if they were to participate? Maybe you say it is their right, Israel, but I think if they should take part, I'm looking at the aftermath, what people will say, what people will talk, a pastor can put say in election, all that in the imam. So I want to hear you out. What do you think? How can we resolve this issue? Because you see, we always go to election. Somebody said you deprive the church people, you deprive pastors and bishops from contesting. You deprived the other people, the imams from contesting. So if we say Liberia is a secular state, we got religions, different religions. We got the Islamic faith, we got the Christian faith. then what happened to their participation? If they are practicing their faith in the country, they are believed. The Muslims are doing what they can do. They're practicing their Islamic faith. They're paying mosques across the country. Nobody allowing them. The Christian too, they're paying churches, they're evangelizing, they're winning soul, they're getting people over. So if everybody playing their part and they are in line with the Constitution, isn't their right again to say, I say an imam, I won't run in the district as representative. I won't run as senator in the county. I won't run for the presidency of the country. If it is their right, or if it is not their right, is there anything in the Constitution or in the Quran that says no, you can't do that one, you can't do that one? To the Christian side, if it is their right, is this something also in the Bible that prohibits that? Or you think because of the sake of that faith and the thing that goes along, you don't think it is important? We're just having an intro of it, but on Sunday I'm going to have a cross section. We're going to have a cross section of church leaders. If we can get people from the Islamic faith, we'll get them. That's how we say state and religion. So it's not just tied only to Christians. No. So we can get somebody from the Islamic background. We get somebody from the Christian background, and then we get somebody too who we will have from the legal perspective. You know what I'm saying? From the legal perspective, who will be able to speak from the area of the Constitution and say, no, legally, these people are not in the wrong. There is no law that's stopping them. There is nothing in our jurisprudence that says people. So we have somebody too from a legal-minded person who will be able to guard the process and say, no, Israel, they men faith came, you can run. They other men faith, you can run. This is what their faith said. But in line with the legal aspect, there is no law on the book that say they can run. 077-223-9933. And I know how powerful, how fascinating it's going to be like. How fascinating it's going to be like. Because our church people, our Muslims, everybody's going to be glued to their radio, glued on their Facebook, on their YouTube, and follow. So, but let me just hear you, your very self, and probably you share 077-223-9933 or 0886-304497 or 077-980-375. So those are the numbers. You can call me. Like I said, this is the official kicker. And I'm just introducing this discussion. We'll have an overall of it on Sunday, God's willing. We will bring an imam, we will bring a pastor, we will get a legal-minded person. So we able to look at the state and the religion. Yeah, let's look at it. Let's say, Christian, but let's take our very first caller on the line and be able to get this person. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah. How are you? What is your name?
Yeah. Omaru from ELWA Johnson.
Omaru from ELWA Johnson.
Yeah.
Omaru, you're following the discussion, so let's hear you. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm following you very well. For me, from the Islamic perspective,
yeah,
in my mind, there's no law binding Imam from vying for any positions in the country.
Okay.
But looking at our setting in secular areas like Africa and other countries, there are certain things the religion forbid it. But for the experience sake, for the sake of the society,
yeah,
it will not be prudent for religious leaders in our society to vie for political office.
For expedience sake and maybe our society, our setting, what you mean?
Yeah, in our setting here, for the reason, we consider the religious people to be the wise men of society.
Okay.
If these people participate in politics, there will be nobody, either from the church or from the mosque, to guide society to the right direction. Hello?
Yeah, I'm hearing you, but
yeah, to guide the society to the right direction. If the powers above to go and run, it will be nobody in the society because they're already participating in politics day and day in politics. Whether is the politics is dirty or is not dirty, they're already in there. So it will be no clergyman the power to say what you people are doing is wrong. It shouldn't be this way. It should be the way. It should be in line with the God command. So in our society here, for us, there's not something is forbidden from the religious point.
Okay.
But for our setting, for me personally, I would advise for the religious people to step aside the wise men of the society.
Wow. For experience and maybe because of our setting, now what you think?
Because of our set. Now we assume that the pastor. Now we assume the chairman for Unity Party. In politics now.
Okay.
If you go in the church and preach to the congregation, it's possible CDCN within that church, again Unity Party people within that church, again Liberty Party within that church.
Okay.
So anything he say in that church, in terms of directing the society, some people might feel different because they are not belong to that political party. Okay. And the man is already chairman for a political party.
Yeah.
So to all the clergy people to be tinted with culture why they are not deserved, it's possible somebody gets role to play in the society. Whether you are clergyman, whether you are a driver or you anybody farmer and things like that. So go to a certain position, they can direct the society within that position. Instead of being in the political system, they can be up there in the churches, in the pulpit, in the mosque, to redirect to tell the politicians what you people are doing is against the laws of Allah. It's against the laws of God.
Okay.
So you should behave yourself properly in terms of gaining the populations and the rights of the people. Okay. You should go in line with the Bible or the
Quran.
But if the people begin to participate within the country politics,
okay,
so it will be no one to tell the power to be power in position to say what you people are doing is so because you're already there.
Okay.
This is our argument.
Okay. Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah, he made his point. He said for expediency and he said our society can do it, but he said well they kind of setting within. And then he gave scenario. All right, so state and religion right here on Kings 88.5 077 223 9933 0886 304497. You listen to the brother. I like him. He say his own and he's giving. Let's go to the Lone Star line. Let's go to the line there. Good evening.
Hello?
Yeah, good evening, sir. Your name?
Good evening. My name is Prince. I call from Central.
Okay, Prince, let's hear you out.
Oh my God. Hello?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Okay, yeah. So the discussion. Yeah. Like what the brother just stated, I was just further enlightening also. Yeah. You see, for example, all those people that were behind Jesus. Okay?
Yeah, we're listening.
Okay, all those people that were behind Jesus, like the disciple, they were all people of perfection.
Okay.
You see, none of these that was spoiling the entire pastor, that what they continue to depend on the congregation. Who said pastor can work and not be pastor? You can work and be your pastor and still be the man of God.
So, in the political setting now.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the same work.
Okay.
Yeah. And all those people are perfection. You can be the pastor and then you do your work.
You can be the pastor. You can be the pastor. You be representative. You be senator. You be governor.
Definitely, it's time for working.
Okay.
It's time for your perfection.
All right.
Yes, you see that? None of that. These days, sometimes the pastor didn't want to work. They only want to build the congregation. It's wrong. You do your work and then you be the pastor.
So there is no conflict. There is no conflict there where you're not able to manage the flock from the church or the mosques.
My brother, you see, in life, as long as we bury the flesh, which is the mortal, as long as the mortal being, there's no perfection. There's no perfection in the mortal being.
Okay.
In we the mortal. So we should always get that in mind. Nobody can never be perfect as long as you bury the mortal being. So you can be the pastor and you get the perfection and you do your work. You say be that pastor. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I like the interaction. Let's go to the other line and take. How about we get feedback? Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Your name and where you calling from?
Yeah, I'm Mark Simo calling from Camp Johnson Road.
Okay, Mark, let's hear you.
Yeah, listening to your portion, it's very educated. And for me, when you working for God and as a pastor or imam, desire to be a senator, representative, minister, director, your final luxury will be in them. Reason being that work of corruption. What people say corruption, right? Hello?
Yeah, I'm hearing you. Go ahead, I'm hearing you.
Yeah. What people say corruption, but they will see. Because that thing that you will do, that it will not be in the line with the particular pastor that shall not speak, that shall not cheat lie. But if you just pay attention, that's why you see my church. If you are a hair pastor, right?
Yeah.
You don't do no other work. No other work you don't do. You don't work in public sector. You don't work in. You don't do no anything. You only pay attention to the gospel. That's why we pay you your children. But everything we provide for you because we want for you to pay attention to the gospel. But when you start doing like a minister for fun now or you deputy minister, you'll see that corruption will be there. Thing that is what do you when you're not really pay attention to the gospel. For me, and if you are a pastor or your imam, just pay attention to the word of God. Because the Bible says you preach the gospel, you live by the gospel. Because that money put in the offering and time, you're not going to help. That offering and time not going here. You go to the mall, what they can put there, you're not going here. It's for you to survive because they want for you to pay attention.
So in a nutshell, you think a pastor or an imam should not put themselves into the politics thing. They should focus on their area of assignment.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you so much. Right. So I hope I can have a female to call and let's hear them also. But let's go to this line. Good evening.
Hello.
Yeah, hello. Let's do a quick wrap just out of time.
Yeah, this is Adol D. Zono.
Yeah, Adol.
I call from Barnaby, respectively.
Okay.
Okay, turning to the discussion. It is not good at all for a pastor as a member of the church. Member of the church can become representative, they can become president, they can become senator. But when you say pastor, a man that focus on the word of God, he had nothing else to do. So the day we were to preach the having Wednesday service, and you in Capitol building, the people causing you, the people downstairs, they jubilating, they demonstrating. What time you will leave from there to come preach the word of God? You will not. This is what have 3 separate branches of government. God said get 3 separate branches of government. God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit. When you come to men, you get the executive, judiciary, and what have you. So why you want to leave your own group and go to another person group? What are you looking for? You look at Angel Gabriel can go do Angel Mago on a work. He is not the angels of war. You can't be the angels of war, then you want to become the angels or you want to become a messenger. When you are a pastor, that means is giving you a president by yourself.
Okay.
When you can go to President George, okay, for example, you get former George Weah. When you can go give him, you can go give him committee chairman job. You will never do it because you've been a president. When you're a president, you're always a president. You can't be the man of God, say that pastor, then you're going to be senator, you're going to be representative, I want a complete greeting. That person is not born again at all.
Okay.
Thank you for the time.
Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you so much. Oh, too bad. I know the topic is so interesting and all of you want to call. Don't worry. Management will see whether we're out of time or what have you. But at just the beginning of the show, it started today. We'll dive more in this discussion this coming Sunday. We want to have the imam, we want to have one of the pastor, one of the legal minded person, so that we're able to talk more about it. I apologize that we don't have the luxury of time to take all your calls. We will see how the time will look like, whether we increase it or not. But let me thank you so much for being a part. Our Facebook followers. We want to thank every one of you. Our YouTube people, we want to thank all of you for joining us on the show this evening. And State and Religion is a very fascinating program that all of you will love. We're going to have cross sections of church leaders, religious leaders, imams, pastors, musicians, and legal-minded people, and then we have a time to talk. But until Sunday, at which time I'm here with a fresh new presentation. Probably the time will increase on Sunday. Watch up. My name is Israel, where we are here. Thank you so much. But I catch you on Sunday with a fresh new presentation of the program, State and Religion. Bye-bye.